Boom. Kevin, what was I gonna say? Oh, starting with the movement one uppers with the song one. Um, bro, your eighth note pulse is pretty inconsistent with the song. Where did the other stick go? So that song even kind of has like this like weird eighth note screeching at the end. It's like and so you start like the eighth notes in the beginning were always the ones that were fast, and then as you got to the end, like if you look at your eighth note interp at the beginning of the phrase and then at the end of the phrase, they're completely different. And the ones at the end are like pretty spot on. The ones at the beginning are always just a little bit rushed, like a little bit like you either come in just a smidge early or you start like leaning into being ahead of the beat there. Just really like breathe, like dun 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 chaku chaku chan pom pom pom. It's like that's gotta be solid. Like you have to be thinking about that before you even prep, right? Because what are you basing the prep off of? The quarter note, I'm hoping. And if you have the quarter note in your head, try to have that eighth note in your head. Dun, dun, dun. And then, bro, your singles too. And that just same. I mean, like same comment with like the eighth note pulse. It's the same thing. It's the same idea. Because the check of those singles, right, is an eighth note. Dun 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 dun. And yeah, you lost it pretty bad on the first rep. There was like one set of singles that like you went in there early. And then what else? What else? And then I'm pretty sure those singles at the end of the book chunk. It's supposed to crescendo instead of that. So for this weekend, I guess, for in like 12 hours. And then the book primer. This guy. That one. I wrote down fast left hand out of the roll. So you set it up pretty well. And then as soon as you start adding the roll, that left hand loses its triplet inter. It starts it's just a little bit too fast. You're starting to crush it, especially when you put it in between that and the 9-lit. So it's instead of this, it's kind of like something like that. You should be listening for that triplet. That's one of the main things that I listen to when I play that phrase. Am I continuing that triplet outside of the roll, right? Am I first of all, am I playing the roll as a triplet, triplet, and then am I staying true to that on the left hands? And then your 9-lit interp I think was a little bit too fast, and I'm not sure if it's because your left hand, the triplet left hand before that was not good. So I'm not sure which one it was, but keep an eye out for that. It just sounded like your 9-lit was just a little bit too fast, and I couldn't tell if it was like the actual note spacing or if it was just like starting early because your left hand was making everything else come early. And then for the 9-lit exercise, the one thing that I had there was you lost just a smidge the triplet quarter note pulse on the singles. So that one you came in a little bit fast, and that's consistent with what we saw in the movement one primer. This guy. There's just something about that spacing that maybe you're not super comfortable with. So just remember the phrase before that. Like I love this exercise because like everything is a check for itself. So you go from this to this, and that's the check for the singles. So you should be listening for that, 100%. And then you forgot all the repeats. I guess you didn't see them. There's repeats, so you should repeat every phrase. Yeah, that's all I got, man. Keep it up.